I'm Larry, current tech director for Classic Corvettes of Minnesota. Today we're going to be installing a backup camera on a 2010 Corvette convertible. The backup cameras were not available until 2014 in Corvettes. So you have to go to the aftermarket world to find a backup camera. The one I found is shown in the box here. Now it says Simoniz brand. I've seen the exact same backup camera under the Peak brand, and there may be others. This thing normally retails between $99 and $149, but I recently found it on Black Friday sales for $35. So I thought that was a deal. I actually bought two of these. If I have a successful installation, I have another vehicle I'm going to install it on. One of the things that led me to this, it's called wireless. And the lesser wiring that I need to do in automotive, the better for me. So let's open up the package and see what you get. First of all, we have a license plate attachment camera. It mounts on the license plate brackets. It's got an up sticker so you know how to install it, and it is somewhat adjustable to change the vertical angle of the camera. Now when you install it, there is a plastic protective covering over the lens. You want to pull that off. And it has a pigtail connector. Next we have a three-way pigtail. It has a connector for the license plate camera. It has a connector for continuing on to the reverse backup light, and here's the heart of the wireless, the transmitter. You have a extension wire that will plug into the three-way connector and then go to your backup light wiring. Now in the passenger compartment, we have a cigarette lighter plug-in, and that provides power to the monitor. Here's the monitor with its pigtail connection, and it has a flexible mounting bracket. Now this is made to mount on the dashboard or the console. I don't like anything permanently mounted that way, so we'll address that during the installation. And lastly, there are two wire connectors for splicing into the existing backup light wiring. And lastly, there is the installation instructions, which I must say are not very complete. I was hoping there'd be some advice on the best place to mount the transmitter. Also, on the back of the monitor, there are three buttons which are not labeled, and they're not described in the installation. Other than that, I think we're ready to go. So now we're going to move to the garage and start the installation. So we're ready to start our installation process. So with the Corvette, we've got two main features here. The camera will be mounted on the license plate bracket. So let's take a look at that. Simply undo the two mounting screws for the license plate, and the camera gets installed right there. Again, remember to peel off the protective plastic film when you're ready to use it. Next, you need to get this wire into the trunk. So on this Corvette, there is a space right next to the license plate light. where the wire can at least get inside this part of the car. It does not give you access to the trunk. This is the carpeted molding in the back. Now I've decided I'm going to go to the right backup light. You can go to either side. I just happen to choose the right side. So there's just a couple of mounting screws on either side in the corner. Take those two screws out. And then right here by the latch mechanism, that's held in by two plastic push pins. Snap those out. Now you can pull this carpeted fascia completely away to get access. You do have to disconnect the trunk light. And this is just a snap plug. Disconnect it from the trunk light, and you can move this whole carpeted fascia away. You will need to drill a small hole through the inside of this fiberglass trunk tub. Try and line up the small hole with your access by the license plate. Use a fish wire to connect it through to the camera lead and pull it into the trunk. Next, you connect up your 3-wire plug with the transmitter. So this is the wireless feature of the installation. I just taped it temporarily to keep it out of the way. Next, you connect up your additional red and black lead that will eventually connect to the backup light wiring. The black is the ground and the red is the hot or the positive. I found the best access to the backup light is through the storage compartment in the trunk. I drilled a small hole in the corner, just big enough to feed the wire through. Now we're going to go underneath the car and we're going to access the backup light. I know this is going to be hard to see, but this fascia that holds the backup light is attached with 4 screws, and it attaches this fascia to the molded inner fender. Take those 4 screws out and you can get access to the backup light. Now it's a simple twist socket plug, so I've pulled that out, and in order to get slack on the wires do run around the side of the inner fender with a clip. You can detach the clip and that gives you enough slack on the wires. You will see that the backup light has a black wire and a green wire. The black is the ground, the green is the positive wire or the hot wire. And that's what we're going to connect our black and red camera wires using the guillotine type splice connectors. The backup light wires are all wrapped with electrical tape. You'll have to pull some of that off to spread the green and the black wires apart to get access. Use your splicing kit and then fold the locking clip over and pinch it with the pliers. That completes the connection in the rear. Now we're going to move to the passenger compartment of the car. Now we're inside on the passenger side of the car, and we're going to talk about the monitor. Now I mentioned to you before that this was designed to be permanently mounted on the dash or the console, and I didn't care for that. But taking the idea from the WeatherTech cup phone holder and this will not work in my opinion. You can take off this bracket, but it'll still have these two ears on the back, which will prevent it from going into their cup phone holder. So I found an aluminum drinking bottle that just fit our cup holders nicely. I cut off the bottom, smoothed the edge, painted it matte black to match the interior, and attached a Velcro piece to both the cup and to the bottom of the monitor, so that they can be removed separately if you want to lock them in your glove box for security. But let's just install it right here in the cup holder. And then we have the cigarette lighter connector, and this provides the power to light up the monitor. Now I've chosen to use the cigarette lighter in the console. So I'm going to plug it in. I'm going to attach the power wire to the monitor, and this has a red on-off switch. Push it in and it lights up, push it and it's off. So you can leave this plugged in but turned off. Now I'm going to go to the driver's side, because for the test we have to start the car and put it in reverse. Now we're ready to try out the monitor and see if it works. So for that, I need to start the car and put it in reverse. So I'm going to turn on the power in the cigarette connection, and when I put it in reverse, the monitor should light up. So let's give it a try. Make sure your foot is firmly on the brake. And the monitor powers up. I was quite pleased with the picture quality. It has the two guide bars to tell you how close you are to a fixed object. And we did find out what these three buttons are. I believe the middle button, if you can pick it up, there was an adjustment for the brightness. I can't seem to get it to work right now, but we'll figure it out. Well, that completes the test, and now we're just going to wrap up the installation. Now we just have to put the final touches on the installation. Remember, you put some of these things on just finger tight and so on. Tighten up the screws on the license plate camera. Remember to pull the film off of the lens. Now we go inside the trunk. There will be a bunch of excess wire. You just need to carefully fold that up, and with a zip tie or tape somehow mount it out of the way on the inside of the trunk. You have two penetrations to the trunk, one for the camera wire and one for the backup light wire. Seal those small holes with some kind of a silicone sealer so that they're leak proof. Lastly, we need to put back the trunk liner. You'll need to cut a little hole through the carpet material to stick the transmitter through so it's accessible from inside the trunk. Put the carpet back in position. Connect up your trunk light with the little snap connector and reassemble the push pins and so on. What I'm going to do for the transmitter is install my cargo net and simply attach it to the cargo net for security. One thing about the monitor, there is a plastic protector for the screen. Make sure you pull that off too, and that completes our installation. Total time, about an hour. Thanks.